Marcus Long, and I'm part of the leadership team of the committee developing a new BSI standard on suicide prevention. What I wanted to do is kind of explain why the standard's being produced and the process that we actually go through, because it's vital people understand that process so they can get involved. Suicide in the UK is seeing some horrible statistics at the moment. Over 6,000 people a year take their life in the UK, and if you look at the numbers, that is increasing in any way that you measure it, by geography, by gender, by age. And we want to try and do something to help reduce that and stop the rate at which we're at the moment. Why have we come to developing this standard? My son Adam, who was 21 at the time, took his own life, and for a number of years I kind of struggled to work out if I could find a silver lining to this. And I had one kind of epiphany moment where I realized that I needed to combine my personal experience of losing Adam with my professional experience, having worked in standards development and conformity assessment for the past 20 years. Now, what that industry does is that industry looks at any kind of problem and comes up with a standard solution to address the particular issue. And there are well-known standards in quality, for sustainability, for health and safety. So I thought to myself, why can't we actually apply that to a subject as difficult as suicide prevention? So I started talking to a number of different organisations about the idea, and the ideas that BSI had in addressing other problems struck me as being exactly the right thing for what we needed for a suicide prevention standard. BSI have very recently published a standard on the menopause and menstrual health, and it really struck me that here was an organisation prepared to take on tricky subjects that people often don't even want to talk about, let alone actually trying to solve. And suicide very much fits into that. So the idea of the standard is that we present guidance and guidelines to any kind of organisation, be it a business, an educational institution, a club or society, any kind of institution or organisation at all, that actually either believes it may have a problem or could have a problem, but whether it knows it or not, it can have some guidance and some guidelines in place to be able to prevent suicide if it comes across it with anyone that works in that organisation or uses the services of that organisation. So what we're now doing at BSI is the standard has started. We have a committee that is drafting the standard right now. And most importantly, that standard brings together a whole group of experts, people with knowledge, with experience, with passion in the subject, to try and help us gain the best standard possible to prevent suicides. Now, there's a very important step that will come up probably around about March or April 2025, where we will actually send the standard out for public consultation, so anyone can give us their opinions and their ideas for what actually goes into that standard. And then the aim is that in the autumn of 2025, we will be able to have a fully fledged suicide prevention standard that we can then launch. And as I say, businesses, other kinds of organisations can use the standard and put in place some kind of mechanisms, depending entirely on what their organisation is about, to help us reduce the rate of suicide. What we want people to do is we want them to get involved either in the process or in actually implementing it. And people should contact BSI if they either want to get involved or they want to understand more about what the standard is actually all about. This is really simple. It's a horrendous problem. It's a problem that really people don't talk enough about, and the standard will help us do that. It will help us put solutions out there to prevent the rate of suicide. On a personal level, I don't want anyone to feel the way that my son Adam did, and I don't want anyone to go through the feelings that I now have because of that. We want to help stop this problem, and we're really hoping that the BSI standard will do that. So please get involved and get to use the standard when we've published it.